Devils Friday again. This is the Woo Report. The Woo Report. Yes, we're back. It's 9:37 p.m. Eastern on a Friday night. Having a little bit of problems with Twitter Live. Sorry for the delay. Twitter's not working. Not our problem. It's on Twitter's end. But whatever. Coming to you live from the Primetime Radio Studios in the bunker in an undisclosed location in New Jersey, streaming live on Facebook Live, not on Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. As well, today was a very interesting day. Waking up early in the morning, around 8 a.m., news came out, Tom Fitzgerald, Devils GM, saying that Timo Meier wants to be in New Jersey for 8 years. Twitter went crazy. We did a live morning woo around 9 a.m. Eastern, about 12 hours ago. And I see people are talking, chattering up on the YouTube Live. Also, big shout out. Facebook Live as well. But the chatter. Also, I found very interesting, Tom Fitzgerald said this morning was, it's just amazing with technology nowadays that when Jesper Bratt accepted the contract offer, 8 years, $63 million, it wasn't by phone, it wasn't by text, it was actually by email, from what I understand. Email. Thought that was interesting. But anyway, tonight's title, Potential Devils Trade Opportunities. Yegor Sharangovich, rumors are that there are teams phoning it in, asking interest in Yegor Sharangovich. Devils' 5th round pick. Forgot when they picked him. Yegor Sharangovich. By the way, big shout out to Bachagaloop. Yes, Bachagaloop. Super chat. 10 euros on this morning's morning woo. Want to thank Bachagaloop. I caught that about 20 minutes ago. Didn't realize that. Sorry, you did it at the end there of the morning woo. So see a lot of people filing in. Dave Singer filing in. Joseph Lenham, JP. Everybody's interested in the AAV of the potential 8-year contract of Timo Meier, what that will look like. I don't think it's going to be $12 million a year because, with Jesper Bratt with $63 million, if you take Timo Meier, 8 years will bring you to $96 million. That'd be $12 million a year. But I got to tell you something. If Tom Fitzgerald can get Timo Meier 8 years under $9 million, 9 or less, he is truly Tom Fleece-Gerald, in my opinion. Because the salary cap structure that he has instituted, the culture that he's been preaching, is legendary. It would be legendary. Because if you think about it, right now, if you had to have your pick between 3 players, let's compare the Devils and the New York Rangers. Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Jesper Bratt combined $23.125 million. Compared to the Rangers, Zibanejad, Kreider, and Panarin, They are $26.65 million. And somebody on Twitter at JP_Gambatis tweeted that out. And which three would you prefer? It's not even a contest. Just think how far Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Jesper Bratt has come together as a trio. Add in Timo Meier, that's about $30 million, $32 million a salary. Not bad. Not bad. I hope Tom Fitzgerald can pull this off. And, earlier in the year, I talked about being concerned about giving up what you had to give up for Timo Meier. And Timo Meier, if Fitzgerald can get him signed to an 8-year deal under $9 million, that in itself, great trade. Great trade. Because it was a trade that I had quite a bit of concerns about, but Timo Meier wants to be here. Claude Lemieux being his agent. If he gets 8.5 to 9, I still think it's a great deal. Steve Tardis says Timo will not settle for anything below 8.5 next year. But Timo time it is. Timo time it is. So, moving forward, you've got Ryan Graves on expiring contract, which, Tom Fitzgerald is looking to move, possibly going on the Damon Severson plan and trying to get some team to bite, fork over a pick. Right now, you've got Yegor Sharangovich, teams interested in him. You've also got the goalie situation with Mackenzie Blackwood. What do you qualify him with? And you know what? He could be shipped out of New Jersey. Mackenzie Blackwood could be out of New Jersey. Because how much would you qualify for Mackenzie Blackwood, and what roster spot would he take? Is he an insurance policy? Anything but. He's been injured quite a bit, injury prone. So just like on The Wolf of Wall Street, you remember that scene. Tom Fitzgerald is going to pick up the phone and start dialing. That's right. He's going to pick up the phone and start dialing because there are trades that are going to be made. The Devils would love to have a first-round pick in the 2023 NHL entry draft. Blackwood could be a goner. Yegor Sharangovich could be a goner. Jesper Boquist, what are your feelings about him? Does he stay? Does he go? And, well, I hope that Fitzgerald can get this Timo Meier deal done because the salary cap situation would have a lot of clarity of what he can do. What kind of trades would he make? Colton down in Tampa wouldn't be great to get a Jersey guy back in New Jersey, a team that he rooted for. I believe he was there at Game 6 against the New York Rangers in 2012 as a kid? Wouldn't that be something? And by the way, the reports of the Tampa Bay Lightning selling Jeff Vinik, selling the Tampa Bay Lightning, just not a majority share, but a minority share. That's a lot of money. Lot of money. It was over $1 billion. Now, that still needs a league approval. And the Ottawa Senators selling, I believe, $1.1 billion, if I remember correctly. Thought that was very interesting on the business end of hockey. But think about where the Devils will be in the next 8 years. And I'm going to go over some of these numbers here about the New Jersey Devils, the cap hit, all that kind of stuff. But Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, locked up long-term. Nico Hischier, 4 more years till he's a UFA. Palat, 4 more years. Curtis Lazar, congratulations on the new baby, Curtis Lazar. 2 years with the Devils. Dawson Mercer, 1 more year left on his entry-level contract. You know he's going to get a big, fat contract. Dawson Mercer, who progressed in his sophomore year, normally termed as the sophomore slump. Dawson Mercer. Nathan Bastian, restricted free agent. Jesper Boquist, restricted free agent. Mikey McLeod, restricted free agent. That should be a priority. Obviously, Timo Meier, which the Devils need to get a deal done so they know what direction to take the team. Sharangovich, also a restricted free agent, but you know teams are going to be vying for him. UFA, Eric Holla, I think is extremely important to re-sign for a few years. Given the fact that he's got the intangibles, he is an interchangeable part likened to Sergei Brelin of the past, where you can put him on the power play, the penalty kill, third line, second line, winger, center, all the above, the intangibles of being a team leader. Look what Eric Holla has done. In the first half of the season, everybody was just crying about how Pavel Zacha going to Boston and the big bad Boston Bruins being a President Trophy team, and Zacha, long-term 4-year deal. But you know what? Each team, both the Bruins and Devils, both mutually benefited from it. And I'll tell you, I think the Devils are going to benefit more because Eric Holla is really a big part of this New Jersey Devils team. He wants to be here. He wants to be here. And he did show up in the playoffs. Eric Holla, Tomas Tatar is a UFA. That's going to be hard to sign, considering that 32 years old, commands over $4 million a year. Miles Wood, I think he's good as gone, being a UFA. On defense, this is where it gets very interesting, folks, because Simon Nemec is going to be the key factor here. Because the Devils, if they were to spend all the way to the cap ceiling, they will be needing to take advantage in the next 2 years. The rookie contracts, these entry-level contracts of Luke Hughes and Simon Nemec. How fast can these players grow up? Now that Severson and most likely Ryan Graves being out of the picture, 1/3 of your defensive pairings, Luke Hughes and Simon Nemec, There will be growing pains. There will be growing pains. Just remember that, folks. But you pair up Luke Hughes with John Marino, who's got another 4 years left on his deal that he signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins. How about that? Not a bad pairing during the playoffs. Loved every minute of it. Zachary, Super Chat, thank you. Is there any beefier players in free agency that you want the Devils to sign? Oh, interesting that you're talking about that, Zach. I will get that in a little bit later in this podcast because Tom Fitzgerald termed it as not beefier players, but heavy players. Same terminology that we use here on the Let's Go Devils podcast, but different words. It's kind of like the translation of, oh, he's talking about beefalytics. Oh, heavy players, right? He said in his press conference with the press early this morning. Interesting that you bring that up, Zach. Thank you for the super chat, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But these entry-level contracts is going to be the key of how the Devils, they got to take advantage of it. It's a win now. It's actually a win now. And the Devils are in such great position for this dynasty that I keep on telling you that Tom Fitzgerald is building here in New Jersey, a dynasty, because he's got a pipeline. And it keeps on filling and filling up. It's the pipeline that keeps on coming. Think about this. You take advantage of these entry-level contracts that Luke Hughes and Simon Nemitz have. Total salary combines between these two studs, these young, the future, it's under $2 million. Compared to if you were to have Ryan Graves and Damon Severson last year, that's a combined $7.58 million AAV last season. You've got $6 million in cap space to spend. Use it on Timo Meier. Use it on Jesper Bratt. But it's how do they respond in their rookie season? Can Nemitz find his way on the team? We shall see. But what we do know is Dougie Hamilton back for another 5 years. John Marino, 4 years. Siegenthaler took less money to be in New Jersey. Siegenthaler, fellow Swiss, Timo Meier, Nico Hischier, Akira Schmid. Kevin Ball, restricted free agent. Kevin Ball, bringing the beefalytics. He is a quote-unquote heavy player. There's the beef. And when he plays with confidence and no hesitation, Kevin Ball is very effective out in the ice. And I think there's some offensive upside with Ball as well because he's got that physical gift. He definitely does. Wyatt World says our best player just turned 22, Sam. Is it not win now? I don't know what you're talking about. But really, you got to win now. Because these are entry-level contracts. I mean, you could potentially get this team far into the playoffs. You know, in goalie is going to be, again, an interesting thing. Akira Schmid's on an entry-level deal. Make it $850,000. I'm telling you, money matters in the salary cap world. Money matters. Vitek Vanacek, 2 more years till he's a UFA, age 27. Making $3.4 million. And obviously, there's some dead cap space that the Devils have But I do agree with the Devils need to get some beefier players. They need to get those heavy players. It can't just be all Timo Meier banging in the playoffs. Now, there was some talk about Tom Wilson. Again, I don't think Washington is stupid enough to trade Tom Wilson within its own Metropolitan Division, considering that they still have Alexander Ovechkin. They're not in a rebuild per se, but I don't think it would be a smart move for the Capitals to do that within the Metropolitan Division where it's so tight right now. The Metropolitan Division is going to get better. I mean, the jury's out what the Columbus Blue Jackets have done, but the Rangers are still in it. Peter Laviolette as their coach. You can't count the Rangers out, even though they suck. Carolina Hurricanes. Now that's a team that's going to avenge from their being swept by the Florida Panthers. They had their injuries. They made it far. That Metropolitan Division. Pittsburgh Penguins under a new regime. The Penguins are always in it. I see what you're saying. Dave Singer says Caps are on the rebuild for sure, Sam. Everyone is at the table. Obviously, Ovechkin's trying to break Wayne Gretzky's record, says Max. Select Boy says Penguins are looking to rebuild. No, there is a rebuild, and then there's a rebuild, okay? We'll see. We'll see what the Caps do. But I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe, I don't think they're going to go into, like, absolute rebuild when Alexander Ovechkin is still on the team. Leonis made a promise, and I think he's going to keep his promise. And, of course, Dave Singer's right. Sid and Malkin still on the team. Agree with you, Paul. More like a retool, not a rebuild. Rebuild is like, look, whatever happened in the last 10 years with the New Jersey Devils, that's an overhaul rebuild. Like, that's like start from scratch once Ray Shero took over the team. Wyatt talking about John Marino drops back to packs, surveys the ice, throws a touchdown to Timo Meier. Touchdown hockey. I got to tell you, outdoor game. Going to love the outdoor game. I want John Marino to score a goal in that outdoor game. The fact that it's in MetLife Stadium, that could be one call for the ages in the parking lot. Very interesting how it's all coming together. I've got to find my, you know what, I got to actually probably not even find myself. Probably going to have to custom order a New Jersey Devils football helmet with a John Marino jersey. Maybe I'll put a little goal light on top of that football helmet in the offseason. That's got to be my little project, my pet project this offseason. Just a reminder, we will be at Pasta Grill by Enzo's in Hackettstown, New Jersey, off of Route 57, across the street from Kohl's. Beautiful Hackettstown, New Jersey, for the NHL Draft on June 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Even though the Devils don't have a draft pick yet, we're going to be having drafts. Judy Agnew says, is Foote still a prospect? I think there's a lot of hype with Nolan Foote bringing the heaviness that Tom Fitzgerald's looking for. Interesting enough, some of the UFAs going on the market, both Gudas and Casey Fitzgerald are both UFAs from the Florida Panthers. Could they be coming to New Jersey? I wouldn't mind Gudas. I wouldn't mind Gudas. He is nasty out there. Absolute nasty. Good player. But again, is there enough room on that blue line for the New Jersey Devils? Steve Tarta's like what he saw out of Foote last year. Dave Singer says Foote can take the Bastion role. JP says Foote replaces Wood. I would agree. Foote and Ball, both Utica Comets, trained there. Could be in the starting lineup this upcoming season for your New Jersey Devils. But the Devils need some snarl, some physicality on this team. But you got to sign Meier long term, get it over with, get it done and over with, just like Bratt. And then Tom Fitzgerald has options, and he's in the driver's seat. Who will he fleece next? That's the next question. But Mackenzie Blackwood, I'm going to steal a line from Scotty. Yes, that's Scotty, a SiriusXM Liquid Metal, also my podcast partner on Devils After Dark. But Mackenzie Blackwood, I mean, he hasn't been seen since he was dropped off at the bus stop outside of Maryland after that last regular season game of last year. Has anybody seen Mackenzie Blackwood? Is he still with the New Jersey Devils? I don't know. But I'm sure Tom Fitzgerald will get on the phone and start dialing. Shop him around. Or is he going to qualify him? Anyway. Yes. It is a great theme song. Just like Jesper Bratt, his performance in the playoffs. Where did he go? I'm just kidding. Congratulations to Jesper Bratt on his contract, celebrating with his parents tonight. Anyway, that music still freaks me out. The Unsolved Mysteries music. Ugh. And Robert Stack's voice. Bratt the Enforcer, says Steve Tartas. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Also, going to plug this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Former New Jersey Devil, now Stanley Cup champion with the Golden Knights as their goalie coach. Sean Burke will be on the program. Yes, Sean Burke, good friend of the podcast, will be on the program. And we'll talk about the Devils' goalie situation, but also like the success that the goalies, the tandem in Vegas. And again, you know, Hellebuck's name has been out there. I know from a marketing standpoint, the name Hell would be great if he was on the New Jersey Devils, but it's got to be more than that. It's also got to be at the right price. Winnipeg's going to ask for a lot for Connor Hellebuck. Do the Devils even have it? And who would you give up? And again, Winnipeg's not looking for scraps. But then again, his name is Tom Fitzgerald for a reason. Should be interesting what will happen. But of course, at the very least, I think Tom Fitzgerald should drive up the price as other teams may be vying for Connor Hellebuck. Again, I'll stick to my statement. You do not need a $10 million a year goaltender to win the Stanley Cup. You just need a 20-something-year-old goaltender to get hot at the right place at the right time for your New Jersey Devils, especially in the next 8 years. Because if the Devils have goaltending and they've got defense, and with the kind of offense that they have, and as they're getting to be a heavier team, they'll be a team to be reckoned with. Now, Alexander Holtz, where will he be in all this? Will they stick with Alexander Holtz? Has the luster dulled about Alexander Holtz? That's something we'll be talking about, I'm sure, in the next couple weeks. Devils having rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the NHL draft. We'll have that covered June 28th at Pasta Grill by Enzo's, Route 57, beautiful Hackettstown, New Jersey, in the heart of Warren County. And also Sunday edition of the Let's Go Devils podcast, 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll have Sean Burke on the program with the guys. And obviously July 1st, free agent frenzy. We'll have it covered. It's probably going to be crazy that day. Come noontime on July 1st. Happy Canada Day. Judy says, Aiden Hill, not a star. Well, Aiden Hill can rap like Eminem. Let me tell you. Yes. I want to thank all those tuning in to this podcast. Thank you for the super chat before. And Zach, thank you for the super chat. Keep it here all week long. Hopefully, good news breaks tomorrow with Timo Meier and his 8-year deal. That should be interesting, as that will drag on. Thank you to everybody. Michael Hay on the Facebook Live. Sorry we weren't on Twitter. Twitter's down at the moment. Good to see you again, Dave, JP, everybody. All right, getting out of here. Dropping the podcast at midnight. If news breaks, I'll try to be up. But I got things to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll wake up early on a Saturday morning and do a morning woo. Can you believe that? Lots of Devils talk. I'll see you later, folks. Go to pucksandpitchforks.com. Till next time, this is the Woo Report. Let's go, Devils.